Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Sunday League Pundit Show. We're going to start things a little bit differently this week. We're not going to have a start and we're not going to have too much chatter. We just want to give our condolences and our thoughts to the friends and family of Craig Shakespear, who passed away earlier this week at the age of 60. He played an integral role for Leicester in both staying up at the end of the 2015 season and then winning the league the very next year at the end of the 2016 season. Played an absolute key role in that. What a guy. It will forever be in Leicester's history, and such a sad turn of events, such a sad time. So all I'm going to say is this week we are not joined by Tin Ribs again. We are joined by Jim Jam, and instead of Tin Ribs we have Jovan, who is one of the armchair pundits, one of the regular listeners, and he will be joining us for this week's pod. So play the music. Hello and welcome to episode 41 with myself, Jim Jam, and Jovan. Yov, it's really good to have you back on, mate.
It's really good to be back on.
It is good to have you back on. I enjoyed it last time you were on. Because the first thing I did was just throw a question at you, and I knew you weren't expecting it. So it's
another one, isn't there?
Yeah, it was quite interesting. I just want to know how you think this season's going to go, because there is only one team that's signed nobody so far.
Yeah.
And yes, you. Not you personally. I'm not blaming you for it, but
I couldn't afford them. How do I think we're going to do this season? I'm optimistic. Even though we haven't signed any players, still got a good squad.
Do you think you need to sign players?
I think we need to. I need to sign players.
Where, if you're only going to strengthen one place, where would it be? I mean, they're probably not. They'll probably sign 2 or 3, but
probably centre back.
You think centre back?
Yeah, because Darwin Núñez is going to come good and get top goal scorer in the league. I actually don't dispute he's going to come good. I think he could be really good this season. Yeah.
I'm not sure about leading scorer, but I do think genuinely he could have a really good season, because he did start to pick up last season.
Yeah,
and he certainly wasn't a bad player. And he works really hard.
He does.
It reminds me a lot of Gabriel Jesus, but with more ability. He just needs to show it. Whereas Jesus is just a really busy worker.
See, I replace Salah. If I'm going into Liverpool, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to
because of his injury.
Him.
He'll be a different player under Slot, because under Klopp he turned him more into a winger, and when he was a winger he was more of a playmaker. It worked, but Slot's plays different to Klopp. And that's why I was a bit more optimistic after watching some pre-season. It's only pre-season, I know, but
yeah.
It's just the way we control the games better. Like Jurgen Klopp was like rock and roll football, heavy metal, attack, press. Always on the transition, whereas Slot is more kill 'em by keeping possession, passing.
It's more of a Pep style.
More of a Pep style. He's not Pep. We hope he turns out like Pep, but
there's no saying he won't. I mean, the Dutch don't have a great record in the Premier League. We went through that when you employed him. We went through the stats of the Dutch managers, and it's bleak to say the least.
But the good thing is,
but there's always got to be one.
I mean, you can't really say Ten Hag's a failure, really.
Yeah.
The guy's won 2 trophies in 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd take that at Arsenal, because the only thing we've won is pushing out a great goalkeeper. That's the only thing we've won under Arteta. We've won the right to dismantle a really good goalkeeper and bring in a Teflon Flappy Bird waste of space, which is depressing. And then when we've got the best defence in the league and we desperately need a striker, we go out and buy Ricardo Calafiori for 39 million, who's a centre-back. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And we're also after Mark Gahey, who Newcastle are now trying to steal.
I think if we bring in Anthony Gordon, Liverpool, which I think might happen, because I've heard reports the other day that it was agreed between Gomez going to Newcastle for 45 million and Gordon coming over to Liverpool. Well, then they've sold some other players.
There's also a potential swap on the line for Gordon as well, because Newcastle want Aaron Ramsdale. And that was mentioned that Ramsdale would go to Newcastle and Gordon would come.
I don't think Gordon would
in a
go to
swap.
Arsenal. He just doesn't want to downgrade, does he?
Is the Everton guy going to go to Liverpool?
He's a Liverpool fan. He was a Liverpool fan growing up. He went to Everton probably because that's the only team that would.
Carragher was an Everton fan though, wasn't he? And he became Liverpool.
Yeah, I was going to say Harry Kane was an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
He probably still is. That's why he tried his best not to win trophies with Tottenham.
Tottenham do that themselves. They don't need help.
Yeah, they've done that pretty well over the years, to be fair to them. That's why
Although I did see a picture of them holding a trophy again.
The soul.
They've won something, another pre-season friendly.
Yeah, that's the only thing
Trophy.
I don't count. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it was the Community Shield, I would, as you know, I'd count that as a trophy.
Yeah, I'd still want to win. Trophies are nice. Any trophies.
You want to win whatever's on offer, don't you?
Yeah.
There could be a wooden spoon on offer, but if it's there for the winner, then I want to pick it up.
Yeah.
But you know, when
that
player retire, it's not going to be on their honours list.
No. It's not going to be underneath
their
name in the Hall of Fame, is it?
For them.
The Audi Cup 2022 or whatever it was when they won that. Yeah, so while we're on the signings thing, the ones that I've caught this week are Calafiori, 39 million to Arsenal.
At least it's finally done. I mean, we've only been talking about it for about a month.
But then that's Arsenal. They're very speedy. They get things done, within the year. So,
I mean, it did
can't
take you a
argue
while
that.
to sign a Golden Glove winner.
Yeah, because it took us 4 signings because we had to sign the 4 defenders. Then we got the joke as a goalkeeper, and the 4 defenders should be knighted for getting a Golden Glove.
Yeah.
Rafael Varane has gone from Man U to Como, 17 million. Sessegnon has gone from Spuds back to Fulham.
Yeah.
For 13 million. And Brian Gill has gone from Spuds to Girona for 12 million. And sadly, very, very sadly, Smith Rowe has left Arsenal, gone to Fulham for 27 million plus a potential 7 million in add-ons. Very sad times for me.
Young player has left.
And Chibo has gone to Man United because we offered him a record 15,000 a week, and United offered him 30.
Oh, shock.
But I stand by what I said to you and Tin Ribs last season. We got to February and we're 4-5-0 up against teams at half time. And I said Arteta's messed up here real bad, because if he'd have promoted Chibo and played him in the second half of them games and gone, look, we're 4-0 up, go and get me another 4. See what you can do. I think Chibo would still be at Arsenal if he'd been given the chance in the first team last season. Not only that, but if he'd have come in and scored 2 and 1 and 2 and 1.
Thing is, though, you don't know what he's doing in training. You know that he's banging him in at reserve level, but maybe he's just not doing what Arteta wants.
What's that? Giving the ball to Romero so we can lose the league? Yeah. If he hadn't have done that, we'd have been champions. Do you know that?
Really?
Because we lost by 2 points, but we got a better goal difference. So if Raya hadn't handed the ball to Romero, conceded the goal for us to draw against Spurs, we'd have won the league.
I know, because
if you go back to the first game when we played Spurs, if he hadn't have flapped the ball into their winger, Johnson, who then squared it for Son to score, we'd have won the league again.
You lost the league at Villa. That's when you lost it. And
Raya,
Arsenal were never going to win the league.
Golden Glove or no Golden Glove, Raya cost us the league last season.
I don't think he did. I think
he
you
did.
have an agenda against Raya.
I definitely have an agenda
and I
against
think
Raya.
that's it.
But he's given away 9 goals.
Yeah.
He's personally given away 9 goals.
Even though he gave away 9 goals, you still had
That's
the
a
chance.
lot.
He still lost against Villa. When you should have beat Villa, and if you beat Villa, you would have won the league. If all the results ended up the way they did, which you can't guarantee.
I still think it's his fault, because had he not done that, we'd have won the league anyway.
So we signed Ben Bertrand Diaz, which I'm
did.
very happy about.
I think that's a good signing.
I know we briefly went into it last week saying that he was the one that I thought would suit. So he's come in, so I'm happy with that one. Hopefully he hits the ground running. I know I made a little joke in one of the groups and stuff like that I said, sign him now, get him in the friendlies. Him and Armstrong, 20 goals, 20 assists each this season. Like a 12th place finish and win a cup. And I didn't think that was a lot to ask.
I think 12th may be aiming for the stars a little bit, because
I'm winning the cup as well.
I mean, with...
What cup are you going to win?
It don't matter.
You're not going to win the
cup's
cup.
a cup.
I think you would do well. Just
Yeah,
stay in the
winning
Prem.
a cup is dreamland, but I think 12 is aiming for the stars somewhat. I think first season, just stay up.
15th, 16th, yeah.
Who cares? Just stay up.
And you don't think that 20 goals and assists each for both Adam Armstrong and Ben Diaz is ambitious as well?
Yeah,
I think I've got more chance of winning the lottery
Yeah.
than 40 goals between the two of them. But
No, it's just one of them. We just want to stay up. That's the main thing. I'd like to stay up before the last game of the season as well.
Yeah.
No,
Nice,
I did.
wasn't it?
I said guaranteed promotion by March is what I said as well. Guaranteed stayed up by March. That was the other part of it that I said.
it's not as ambitious as the 40 goals and the wanting to win a trophy, because that is real heights that you're aiming for there.
If both of your strikers are getting 20 goals a season each, you're finishing like above 8th at least. But
Deal. I'll take it.
it won't
Thanks.
happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Brenton
you-
Diaz
you-
is a good player, but I reckon he gets 6 or 7 for you next season.
Why?
Because
He's got that at a poor Sheffield United
Arsenal
team.
Yeah,
Arsenal
in
attack
14
constantly,
games.
and we're not going to have a player on 20 plus goals. Mainly because we're not buying them. We're buying players that we don't
That's
need.
because you share the goals around your club.
We haven't really got much choice. We haven't got a goal scorer.
Hey, can't
We haven't got that person to rely on.
You've got Kai Havertz, yeah.
He's not a striker though, is he?
He will
Scoring
be.
goals
He's an
now.
attacking midfielder.
You know he's going to be a
I
striker
mean,
next
to
year.
be fair, I had to eat my words last season because when we
Yeah.
signed him, I was dead against it, and I was sat in here saying to these two, "It's fucking shit. I don't want
Yeah.
him. Horrendous. Worst signing I've seen since Raya. Absolutely horrific." And then he turns out to be decent. I'm like, I'm gonna have to eat my words
He's
here.
done
And,
alright.
but to be fair, I came on and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to eat some humble pie here and have it. It's actually been much better play for Arsenal than it was for Chelsea.
Yeah, he's done.
Like 100 times better
Yeah.
for Arsenal than it was for Chelsea. So fair play to him. He did actually pull it out of the bag, but he's not a striker.
Important thing
And I
is
still
we're
believe-
not done.
I still believe if we sign Watkins, we will lift the title next season. No, not a doubt in my mind.
You won't sign Watkins there.
No, we won't, because we'll
No.
probably end up signing another left back.
And plus, they're in, Villa are in the Champions League. It's players not going to want to leave. Well, Douglas,
You mentioned
Douglas
Villa.
left.
So I had a little picture because I was on TalkSport website and
I thought you said you're on TalkSport then. They
No,
made it.
I wasn't on TalkSport.
We've
But
made it.
I went on the TalkSport and it said Aston Villa are doing the best transfer business of the summer, and I'm like, really? So we go through it. So we've bought Ross Barkley for $5 million.
That's
I'm
a
like-
decent signing, to be fair. I mean, it's not
He's just
crazy,
squad,
but it's decent.
for Champions League.
Hmm.
He's a squad player, isn't he?
I would say so.
It's just a
Really?
swap.
But
for
he's a
Douglas
decent
Luiz.
one, though.
Yeah, he's good.
He's not someone you have to worry about when he's on the pitch.
Baron Shea,
Who?
exactly. Illing Jr.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who?
Yeah. So they're two players from Juventus, obviously part of
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas Luiz deal.
I've never heard
And
of
I'm
either one of
sorry.
them. I mean, they
Douglas
might be great,
Luiz
but
was superb last season. He
was
probably
good.
would have been in my team of the season
he was
in
good.
midfield. He was that good. Dobbin, obviously part of the money swapping
Chelsea.
that's been going around. Cameron Archer, that they bought back, but it sounded like it was a obligation to buy back because Sheffield United got relegated. So I think they had to buy him back, part of the contract. Phil and Jean signed him back from Hull last season.
It's not exactly going to
Okay,
pull up
and then
anything,
their
is it?
big signings, Maatson
Okay.
from Chelsea,
That was part of the money swap deal, wasn't it?
yeah, and Onana from Everton,
I mean,
who Craig said last week, he ain't a £50 million player, and they're laughing their way to the bank.
Yeah, 50
With
million is a lot.
It was a lot, but in this day and age, he's strong, very good. Like, I'm not comparing him to Yaya Toure at all, but it's like that sort of mould.
What? Oh no!
And
Are you telling me he gets into Liverpool side?
No.
as a number 6, yeah, we've got Endo. That's it. We don't have number 6.
You like Endo,
Wait,
don't
let's-
you?
let's-
Don't you
wait,
like
wait.
Endo?
Let's rewind it time. Who would you have as what place? Who would you? What position would you buy for number 6? Take it back, not a centre back. We need number 6.
Oh, so you're on the lines that Endo is shit?
No. Endo's good. Endo's decent. Been decent for us, but he was a stopgap. That's all he was. And even now, Endo is
That's
set.
a bloody expensive
He number
stopgap.
6. It wasn't. Endo wasn't.
I thought it was about 45 million.
No.
Oh, was he not?
I think Endo was below 20.
Oh, was he? Oh, it's not so bad then.
No.
I'll get the
Oh,
information.
that makes it about a stopgap then. That's fine.
I mean, I don't rate.
I don't think
Endo.
Endo's great,
No.
but then I don't rate anyone in a Liverpool shirt, to be fair, because it's Liverpool, but I am quite twattish like that.
But I wouldn't have been signing him.
Douglas
When I
Luiz.
think- no. Douglas Luiz.
Oh, you're on about
absolutely.
Onana. I would just say Douglas Luiz, because he was linked with Arsenal at one point, and I was really hoping we were going to sign him, because I don't rate Partey, and I don't want Declan Rice to be a DM. I'm not saying he's not good at it. Prefer him that little bit further forward with Odegaard. So I think Arsenal need a DM. And
Well, you're linked with Marino, aren't you?
but I think, to be honest, the way it's going, I think we're going to buy Marino. It looks like that's ironclad, because Arteta desperately wants another one of his Spanish bum boys over there, and Marino desperately wants to join Arsenal, from all reports. So I think that'll pretty much be a done deal.
Would you be happy with that?
I will have to see how many goals he gives away, because the other Spaniard that he's got has given away a fair few. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't seen enough of Marino to make a.
No, people saw him in the Euros and were like, "Oh, Marino."
And that's the thing is like Calafiori. I saw him in the
He didn't
Euros.
stand out for me
No, not me.
at the Euros, because obviously there were other players that stood out
For Spain.
For me,
for Spain.
from what I've seen of him, he reminds me a little bit of Francis Coquelin. Looks like he could potentially do a job, but 90% of football fans are not going to really know who he is.
Yeah.
I don't
'Cause
think he
it's-
was that bad.
Who, Marino?
Coquelin.
I loved Coquelin. Until he was told to go further forward. Like, as a DM, he just broke up play and passed it.
Yeah.
Broke play, passed it, broke
But
play,
like
passed it.
your other CDM that you had as well, Gendozi.
Guendouzi's
He had an attitude.
potentially one of my favourite players of recent times. And the attitude that he was kicked out for is why I liked him the most. Because I liked somebody to have that bit of steel about him. Somebody that cared. Somebody that gave a shit. He only bit back at Mopé because he cared about losing the game. It wasn't because he was bothered about earning more than him. He was just annoyed that we were losing. I like that. That's what I want my players to be, annoyed when they're losing. I don't want, like, this England team. They start losing, start smiling at each other. Get off. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any part of that. I want to see my team losing and being really annoyed and having a go at the opposition. I don't care if there's no reason for it. I want them to care. And most footballers now just don't. And they don't. Most Arsenal players don't care. Ben White, Declan Rice, and Odegaard. They're the only players.
Everyone doesn't care.
They're the only players. No,
doesn't care.
He just wants to get paid.
they're the only players in the team that I've never seen smiling when we're losing.
Ben White never smiles, doesn't like football.
But it still counts as not smiling when we're losing.
Yeah.
Every other player I've seen at some point smile when we're losing. Don't like it.
Do you know who doesn't smile when we're losing? Endo. By the way, back on Endo. 16.2 million. That's what he costs.
That's actually not too
Stop
bad at
gap.
all then.
And we
Not too
need
bad.
another 6. But yeah, that's it.
So you'd have Onana.
I mean, no,
I'd have probably
I
paid
wouldn't.
35 for him.
Yeah, I-
50 is a bit
just-
excessive.
Just
I
to
think.
make it clear, I wouldn't have an honour in the Liverpool team. The question is, would he get in the Liverpool team? Yeah, as a number 6.
Mm.
But I wouldn't want him. He's Everton, eh? He's a good, decent player.
Well, the one that I would have chosen is gone now because he's at Spurs, which is Archie Gray. So that was disappointing. I've been talking about him on here for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then Spurs going by him.
It's a Spurs, yeah.
Gutted. So yeah, I'm really disappointed about that. Is there any business you think you're going to do? Like, I haven't even heard about Liverpool being linked to anything.
No, I don't hear
I've
nothing.
heard nothing out of Liverpool at all.
There's been a few links on Twitter, but nothing concrete. I think the biggest one is Gordon, but
Is that because Slot you think is just keeping his cards close to his chest, or have Liverpool come out and gone, we're just not doing anything?
I think Hughes and Slot did a joint press conference where they said, "Relax, there will be deals just towards the end of, after the Euros is finished, towards the end of August, deals will happen. So just relax. Slot needs to assess the team. He doesn't really know the players, so he's had a whole preseason now to have a look. All the guys are back now. Like Trent came back today, Diaz, Darwin, and Gomez, and Gakpo and Verge all back today. So finally, he can get them all together and go, right, this is what I've got, and this is what I need.
So you're happy that he's got a couple of weeks now just to take stock and have a look and evaluate what he wants and what he doesn't.
It's annoying when we have like a international tournament season because it changes everything. It changes the whole transfer market. So now, the boys coming back, we've only got one friendly against Sevilla on Sunday. Then we're back into the Prem.
It is quick, isn't it?
It's tough. I can't believe that the season properly kicks off like next week with Community Shield and the Championship and
mad,
that. And it feels
Scotland's
like
already kicked
off. It's flown by.
With two amazing 0-0 draws yesterday. May I add? What an exciting league that's going to be.
My daughter the other day was like, she's 5, she's like, Daddy, why haven't you watched football over the last couple of weeks? I'm like, season's coming back, don't we worry. She can't wait.
Yeah,
can't wait.
I can't wait to.
I need football again, I think, because it's.
Weekends are pointless, aren't they?
The thing is, it's like there's so much football when it's on, but it's the only thing that I can literally overload on and still not get bored of.
Yeah.
And then the second it's gone, miss it.
Yeah.
Miss it, and you just sit there sort of staring at the telly.
Yeah.
Oh, this film's crap. Oh, this series is crap. It might not be. I'm just not paying attention.
Yeah.
Just not football. Because the amount of times I have conversations with people, like being a truck driver, I'm on the phone a lot. The amount of times I have conversations with people. Have you seen this? Have you seen that? No.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of it because I literally the only TV I ever watch is football. It's the only thing I'm interested in. I don't really care about anything.
The Euros
else.
didn't really scratch an itch, really, either. It was like the football was, barring Spain, who were decent, and there was a couple of good games.
I watched a lot of games, especially the group games. I found myself watching every game that I could.
But then when you watch England, it's so boring.
That's what put me off the Euros, is because I just wasn't excited for England at all. And as it turned out, even though we got to the final, I was quite rightly not excited by England.
Yeah.
Because they did nothing exciting.
So glad it's done.
And it's like, it's the constant argument of, he's got us to two finals and one semi. Yeah, but he lost games he shouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
Okay, the Spain game, 50-50 game. And I accept that could have gone either way. I accept that. The Italy game was a one-sided game until we scored, and then we just gave up. And the Croatia should never have beaten us in a million years.
Well, if we go back to the Euros and the Spain game, actually, when we scored the equaliser, we had like a 4 or 5 minute period. It was like, oh my god, we're going to do this because we've got the momentum. And then what do?
Throw it back
to the
keeper.
Do you know what I should do? Let's get a throw in where we've scored from previously with the Bellingham overhead kick, and we can do a long throw here. No, you know what? Let's go back to the goalkeeper. Let's kick it back up the field, lose the ball, and then run back up and score. Oh, it's they make me angry. So angry.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? You know, at some point they're going to Southgate it, and it was so disappointing.
But I will watch qualifiers. Now I know that I didn't watch many of the qualifiers going into this one because I just wasn't a fan. But I thought, you know what? I'm off. I'm going to watch a lot of the Euros. I'm going to watch it.
Oh, I'm that curious. I'm going to be watching the Nations League as well.
I will when they announce someone, unless
Lee Carsley.
If Lee Carsley's there as like interim, I won't. I'm not bothered. I ain't gonna watch it. But then if he gets it full time,
because if Lee Carsley gets it interim,
yeah,
and then we go because we're not up against great teams because Southgate's already got us relegated.
What it will do. It depends on the players that he picks.
But this is what I'm saying.
Squad announcement.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
I decide if I'm going to
because if we go into them games and then we face, say, Hungary and beat them 4-0, and then we face Slovakia, beat them 3-0, straight away I'll be thinking this is different. Yeah. This is different because we're attacking.
Because I used to watch it and I go like this, and you go, right, I'm going to watch it, and then Ward-Prowse doesn't get in the team, and Jordan fucking Anderson does. It's like, wow. I'm not watching it because it instantly pisses me off because there's a player that doesn't deserve to be there. If he wants a cheerleader, I've said it before, just invite him to the game like he was for the final. He drove his camper van or whatever he did, and he went and supported
Beckham,
the boys.
the first tournament Beckham wasn't selected for, didn't he go as well and just sit with them? I know he wasn't in the changing room with them, but I'm sure he went to the hotel with them and like hung around with them. And
if you just want him to be around because they're a good influence, just put him on your coaching staff.
I'm okay with that.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Because I don't have to see him.
Have him there, that's fine. Just don't give him a number.
Exactly.
Don't give him a number.
No, Henderson was alright. I know.
No. 4 or 5 years ago, Henderson was alright.
Yeah, we're talking about the end.
Yeah, but if he's picked now...
Yeah. Well, he won't get picked now, though, because he wasn't picked for the Euros.
We're talking about when he was struggling to get in the Liverpool side because he was on his way out.
In his peak.
I don't
think anybody... I mean,
he annoyed me in his peak because...
But he ran.
He was...
Yes, he passed sideways, but he ran, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hard work.
I won't deny that he was a good player because he was a good player. He just irritated me. Probably because of who he played for.
Bit like Granit Xhaka. Worked hard and did a lot of passing, but it was all 3 yards and it was all sideways. So stats look good.
But what's changed now? Because now he's actually
Xhaka's
quite
had a
good.
lot to say about Arsenal, now that he's won his Bundesliga.
I'm okay with it. He's gone and he's won a title, and that's.
I watched a couple of games of Bayer Leverkusen because towards the end I was getting intrigued. I was like, still unbeaten. I go watch it, and you watch it, and he's a different player.
Yeah, but it's a different league. It's different opposition. He's not up against Salah. He's not up against Henderson and whoever else you've got. Yeah, but Henderson used to block him.
Some good players.
Henderson used to block Xhaka out a lot.
Yeah.
Henderson stopped Xhaka going forward. You know, he's not up against Rodri. He's not up against De Bruyne. He's not up against any of them. So, as much as people said he looked good in the Premier League, which I still fucking doubt, he's going to look better in the German league because he's not up against the same opponents.
Yeah, true.
Not even close to being the same class. And the reason I know they're not the same class is because you're not going to get City doing what Bayern Munich did. Ever.
See, because I always thought you definitely were harsh on Xhaka because he definitely gave it his all.
Oh, yeah, he did. Usually in fucking tackles and got sent off. That's when he normally gave his all, when he was flying in someone. Wasn't it against Liverpool where he tackled someone waist high?
I can't remember.
Absolutely useless. I'm glad he's gone. But unfortunately, we've replaced one waster with another. So it's not exactly improved the team, has it? So... But it is what it is, and we're just going to have to see how the season goes. I'm interested to see Liverpool's transfer dealings because they've been so quiet so far. Now you've said what you've said, it makes a bit more sense.
I mean, everyone else is...
But they are sort of leaving it late.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of their targets are potentially going to have been snapped up.
They're probably not, though. Because if they're really serious about a player, they'd be going in for it.
Yeah. Hughes and Edwards have come in. They work differently. They've been away. Well, Edwards has been away for a couple of seasons because the whole Klopp and Edwards situation, where Klopp wanted a bit more control and FSG wanted to kind of have that sporting director in place to kind of take control of the football side. Now that Klopp's gone and he's back in, just let him cook. Let's see what happens.
No, it's like he's happy Klopp's gone.
No, not at all.
I don't think any Liverpool fan's going to be happy that Klopp's gone. But
I'm excited for change because, you know, you don't know what change is always good. But if Klopp said, "I'm staying for another 5 years," I'm like, yes, well, yes, get in, okie dokie, I'll take that. But he's gone. He's decided to leave, and it's like, you know what? Let's embrace the change. Let's give Arne Slot the time he needs. He lost in a friendly against Preston, behind closed doors, 1-0. I was like, bit nervous, and then we've gone on, beat Betis, smashed Arsenal, smashed United,
smashed Arsenal. Got beat by Preston.
Yeah. Behind closed doors.
We lost to Oxford. I mean, you know what I mean. We're not smashing anybody.
We're the same. We lost to that Liverpool. Yeah, same thing, really, same level.
I haven't scored.
I think the thing that you're not devastated by Klopp's departure, I think, speaks volumes, because United were crushed when Alex Ferguson left, and honestly, I was annoyed when Wenger left.
Yeah.
Because they were actual legends of the game, and it did annoy me that Klopp was being spoken about in the same tone as Ferguson and Wenger, because you're talking 9 years of a few trophies against 20 odd years of constant top two. Like the top two for Arsenal and United was basically from 93 to 2006. Yeah. Arsenal and United contested the top two pretty much all of that sort of time.
Yeah.
Klopp was never that prolific.
Yeah, but it's all about accepting change. And just accepting that you're going into the next phase of
Yeah, of course it is. And
It's
Slot might come in.
Changes that you're actually going to win some stuff.
Slot might come in and do better than Klopp did.
Well, you never know. You never know.
You know, it's not impossible for Slot to come in and have a better record than Klopp.
Yeah.
Certainly in the first few years. And yes, Klopp's left him with a template. He's not exactly left him with a crap squad.
No, we've got a good
so he's got a good starting block.
I mean, Ferguson left at the right time because he knew
he left a sinking ship.
Yeah. But he won the league. And he left in the right side. And he left in the right way. I thought Klopp is leaving, put too much pressure on Liverpool last season. No.
I don't think he announced it at the right time at all.
You were on for a quadruple and
won. I know we were on for a quadruple.
But have you heard some of the interviews with the players? I don't think all was rosy in that garden.
No. Curtis Jones
because there was a couple of players that have come out and said they weren't as happy with Klopp as people seem to think.
Yeah.
Which surprised me quite a bit, actually, because they all looked really close-knit and, you know, well tied together. But then it comes out once he's gone. Yeah, but you don't, do you? You don't have to be overly friendly with your manager. I mean, yeah, okay, go up and shake his hand after the game and whatever, but they were all hugging him and laughing with him and jumping with him and dancing with him, and you don't need to be over the top with somebody. Because, like, if you don't like somebody and you're acting like that, that makes you the twat.
I think that some words have been taken out of context. Where, like, Curtis Jones came out and said he enjoys the way Arne Slot plays, and Curtis Jones, like, he's a technical player. Likes possession, likes to be a bit nippy, like get tricky on the ball. Whereas Klopp is like, nah, you get the ball forward. Like we transition, we go, we're attacking, we go. So he came out and said, you know, it's different and it's my style. I enjoy it more. And everyone's like, oh no.
I don't think that's Klopp. Negatively speaking about Klopp.
No, it's not.
No,
you know,
it's the press are fucking idiots in this country. Let's be honest.
Jones had to come back out and say, guys, just to ensure you, like everything's fine. Like I loved Klopp. And it was
crazy,
fun, but it's done. Like it's the next.
I mean, if
chapter.
he'd have come out and he'd have said, "Yeah, Klopp was a bit of a twat," actually, I didn't like what he did, and I thought he was well overrated. Fair enough. Then come out with a report. He didn't say any of that. He just said, "I like Slot, and I like what's going on."
Yeah.
That's really not saying anything negative about Klopp.
It's kind of smart,
all, is it?
really, isn't it? Praising the new manager and saying how much you're looking forward to.
I would say praising the guy that's about to decide whether you get more money on a new contract or not is fairly
and
clever.
Get game time, yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that was pretty intelligent.
But we didn't just get Slot. We got Heitinger as well. Yes.
That sounded very sarcastic.
Is that the same Heitinger that's a defender that we've actually heard of? At least we've heard of the management team.
Yeah, no, he's just one of the coaches. He's not the second in command. But no, yeah, Liverpool finish.
Anything that's going to improve you guys, really.
Top 4 will be happy.
West Ham have bought Somerville, which Tin will be gutted.
Has that gone through now? Is it?
Yeah.
Ooh. And Fulkrug as well.
And Fulkrug. So West Ham are looking strong.
Do some good business. You know, they've won a European trophy recently. It may not be the one everybody wants, but they still lifted a European trophy.
Well, this season, the season just gone as well.
Do you know you don't get relegated into the trophy below now anymore? You don't do poorly in the Champions League and then go into the Europa because it's the new standings now.
Good.
It's the first.
You don't deserve.
I think it should have been like that from the start.
Yeah,
to be honest. Isn't it like a 32 league system
format,
now, and the first 24 will go through and the rest go out, and then the 24 go to play out for the knockouts?
Yeah, top 8. I think top 8 go through automatically, and then
they have a playoff
for
the next 8.
Yeah,
and then it's the round of 16 and onwards.
Sorry, I don't know what's this Champions League you're on about.
You get that one day.
No.
No.
You'll get there before Leeds. Okay, so if that makes you feel better, you'll be in the Champions League before Leeds. I fucking hope they are now, or Tim will never let me at the end of that. And on that note, while I might edit that out, we're going to go to a break, and we shall be back very shortly. We shall see you soon. Hello and welcome back from the break. We're going to go into our new feature now. The feature.
Oh,
feature.
Right, so we're going to go into our new feature, which is a game called Who Am I? And we first played it last week with Craig, who has now started that podcast that they were talking about, and they have called it Where's Our Badger Gone?
Which is good.
Because I sent him a logo that I designed and going, I think this is kind of cool. I've sorted this out, and they've run with it as well. So I'm
but a couple of people didn't like the name of it. I mean, we loved it. I'm glad they've stuck with it.
Basically, what they've done is Stafford Rangers. Craig is starting a podcast on behalf of Stafford Rangers and the NWL, is it? Whatever league they're in. I don't know what division they're in. I'll have to double check that. But he's starting a podcast for Stafford Rangers and their division to talk about all the teams in it. And people are refusing to wear their mascot's suit, and the mascot is a badger. Like the crowd are all sort of asking, "Where's the badger gone? Where's the badger gone?" So he's decided to call the podcast "Where's Our Badger Gone?" But some of the fans have taken it as like an attack because they won't wear the suit anymore.
Yeah.
So
it's something. Why they having badger? It's nothing to do with the club kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not their nickname. It's
either way, anyone getting pissed off about something pointless makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you've got to, like we said to him last week, you've got to go with it.
It's a great name.
It's quite good, and we like it.
We endorsed it.
We're important.
Well done, guys.
So yeah, we did that. So right, anyway, we'll go into Who Am I? And we're going to go into the first player. What I'll do is I will read the first section, then I will say Who Am I? And then you both have a guess. If you haven't got a guess, that's fine. First section's worth 5 points. Second section's worth 3 points. Last section's worth 1. And if you don't get it in the 3 sections, don't deserve any points, quite frankly. Because the third one is mega easy. Okay. So if you haven't got it by the first 2, you're going to get it by the last.
Pressure,
Good.
So, I was born the 13th of August, 1970. Started my youth career in 1986, a long way from home. I am 6 foot tall. I have only played for 3 teams. And I have tried my hand at management. Who am I? Right, while you're having a think, I'm going to read through them clues again. I was born 13th of August 1970. I started my youth career in 1986, a long way from home. I'm 6 foot tall. I have only played for 3 teams. I've also tried my hand at management. Who am I? Any guesses, boys?
So we can't guess. If we get it wrong, that's it.
No. If you get it wrong, you can still have a go on the next one. It just means you won't get the 5 points for the first thing. That's all. But yeah, you can have a go. You only get 1 go per section.
I was going to say...
I'm always hoping that the first one's going to be really tough and nobody's going to get it.
Yeah, can't see it
happening. You may just land on one at some point, you never know, and get a good 5 points for it.
This guy.
So have you both got a guess?
No. Wait.
We haven't got a guess. Have you got a guess?
1970.
I've got a guess.
You've got a guess?
I can't even work out.
Started the youth in 1986.
Yeah.
6 foot.
Yep.
3 teams.
3 teams. Yep.
We don't know what teams yet.
No. Just have a rough guess, and then we'll go on to the second one. Right. Have we got our answers locked in?
Yes.
Okay. Who's your answer?
Rude Hullet.
You've got Rude Hullet.
Titus Bramble.
Titus Bramble. Both incorrect.
Shock.
Now, the pressure is really going to be on one of you here. Section number 2. I joined Southampton in 1988. I played 118 games before leaving in 1992. I played 63 times for England. I have a CBE. I retired in 2006 from playing. I was once a world record transfer. Who am I? Them clues again. I joined Saints in 1988. Played 118 games before leaving in 1992.
It's one of 2 people.
I played 63 times for England. I have a CBE. I retired in 2006 from playing. I was once a world record transfer. Who am I? Do we have answers locked in?
Yes.
I can see Yove doesn't because he's scribbling frantically.
Loads.
And then erasing, and then scribbling, and then erasing, and then scribbling.
I'm going to go for this first one.
Right. Do we have answers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
Matt Lettice.
We have Matt Lettice. And we have Alan Shearer. One of you is correct.
And it's not him.
And it's not him.
So I'm guessing...
It is...
Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
The last one, just for the record, so you know how easy the third one's going to be. I played for Southampton, Blackburn and Newcastle. I am the all-time goal scorer in the EPL. I've won a golden boot in the Euros. I am now match of the day. Who am I? That was going to be the last one. So, as you can see, the last one's always going to be very easy.
Yeah.
So,
to be fair, I can see why it was tough for you, because I know that Alan Shearer left pre-Premier League era.
Yeah.
Which obviously was a big help.
My other thought was Graham Leicester. I was like, could it be? That's not.
I think he played for more than 3 then, didn't he? Although the Blackburn thing would have worked out for him as well. Right. Who am I? Number 2 of the week. Are we ready?
We are ready.
Yeah.
Okay. I was born 18th of November 1963 in Gladsaxe, Denmark. I'm 6 foot 4 inches tall. I started my youth career at Hoge Gladsaxe in 1972. I started my senior career at Gladsaxe Hero in 1981. I've scored 10 career goals. Who am I?
Peter Schmeichel.
That's what I would write down, Peter Schmeichel.
It is Peter Schmeichel,
Yeah.
5 points each.
Yeah.
I thought the 10 career goals was going to throw you.
I know he
No,
scored
10
goals.
career goals would have been easy, one of which was for Villa.
He scored, I'll tell you what, 'cause I think I wrote it down.
Scored for Villa in the Premier League,
He scored for
didn't
Villa, scored for Man U. Played for Bromby in 1987, making 119 appearances, scoring 2 goals. 129 appearances for Denmark, scoring 1 goal. Man U in 1991, and played during the most successful period, making 292 appearances and scoring 1 goal. Left in 1999 and went on to play for Sporting Villa and Man City.
Technically,
I think as soon as you were like Denmark,
6'4". I was like, yep, there we go.
Yeah.
So that's
I technically got that first.
5, 8. 8 for Jim and 5 for Tin. So you both did better than last week. But Jim, you are in the lead. You'll be pleased to hear you're beating Tin Ribs, who
hasn't
who's
even
yet
played yet.
who's yet to actually have a go. But the scoring's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So as we've got a new person here, I shall ask you: shall we keep that feature in, or
Yeah,
should we
keep
do
that.
something?
That's fun.
Yeah, you all right?
But
Okay.
I would
Definitely make the second one was too easy.
Okay, noted.
I know why
Okay.
it wasn't though. It was easy if you knew. If you don't know,
I think the career goals definitely a big giveaway.
The 10 career goals.
Yeah.
Okay, noted for next time. So I'm learning all the time because I've only just started doing this as well. Right, so
I think
Jim,
he was quite well known for actually scoring a goal or two.
you
or
wanted
10.
to go on to a new subject.
Well, not
What?
really a subject. It was just a bit of news that happened during the week that I wrote down as
Well,
soon
say
as
that.
I read it.
I'm assuming the subject's going to be football, given the
Yeah.
podcast. and
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so unfortunately, during the week, over a 2-year period between 22 and 2024, we've had another rule breach from Manchester City. They've breached Premier League rule L33, kick-off and restarts. They've been charged 22 times for delaying kick-off without due cause.
2 million as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so 22 times
22 occasions.
they've either delayed the kick-off or the restart over a 2-season period.
They got fined 2 million.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's a little.
I think
No, because they've got strict rules on start times, haven't they? And obviously
get
the delaying,
It's a little.
it's still another rule.
It's,
I mean, I
breach,
can.
isn't
I can accept
Okay.
that they've broken
What
a rule.
time do you kick off? If we're talking Saturday now, so we're talking the Saturday.
12:30, 3, 5:30, and potentially
Okay,
7:30.
so that doesn't change.
No, it's the
Pretty
same.
much. So,
Yeah,
so you know what time kick. There's a clock there. There's
Yeah.
no real issues there, unless something happens, which they'll obviously know about if it's traffic.
Usually
into
the
ground.
M6. I can tell you that
Yeah.
being a truck driver, that will cause bloody
You
problems.
know, so delay to team bus would do it. A medical emergency, and you're not going to argue about that. So obviously, none of these things have happened during them games to delay the kickoff. It's just basically doing. So, yeah, okay. So how long do you get as soon as the referee blows for half time? How long do you get before you kick off?
Is it 15
15.
minutes?
15 minutes. So you say, oh, it's a bit silly, but you know the rules. You
No,
know
I get
what time
that.
your
I get
kickoff
that.
is.
I get that. I accept that. I accept it.
So obviously their delaying must be some sort of tactical, whether or not they're getting extra energy boosts or the other team are going out ready for it and they're delaying it. Because you see it in the boxing, because I can't remember who it was. I think it was David A. I think one time where he fought, and it was like he didn't come out. He played his music and he didn't come out. And basically, it was the other guys already in the ring. So obviously, they do a little warm up in the back, don't they? Mm. And then obviously they come covered, and then they take it off at the end. Because once they're in the stadium, if it's an open stadium, it can get quite cold. So they completely lose that. So if they're delaying it, the other players are out there getting cold while they're staying warm, and then they come out.
I see the point behind it.
Yeah.
I see the point behind it.
You know, a bit like when we played at Mac and we were nice and
nice and warm in the changing room
at half time, which absolutely killed it.
Freezing.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
they're not 115s anymore. They're 116s.
With Tom Daly over here.
But I just thought it was interesting where I saw it and went, "Oh, Man City rule breach again."
Yeah,
it's sad, isn't it? Really, when you are such a good side anyway. And then you resort to them kind of tactics.
But we had it, didn't we? We had this tactical analogy that went on that Ralph Hasenhuttl had. And it was strategic players going down, alleged. Because
that's been happening since the 90s. You've got stories about Shearer and bloody Ray Parlour and
you go down and
they're all saying the same thing.
It's 76th minute and they come on and then all the players get the energy boost.
Yeah, but you've had stories like Ray Parlour on TalkSport's come out and said, I went down a couple of times. Like, well, were you injured? He went, no, I went down against Newcastle at one point, and the trainer come out and went, what's the matter? You look like you're in agony. And he went, no, just chilling. He went, I had to make sure the ref wasn't around first. I went, no, just chilling, I'm cool, just pretend it's my ankle. Just trying to buy a few minutes. They've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
So delaying the restart, I accept, is different from a player going down. You know, I take that.
But it was all to do when they were showing like that it was happening pretty much the same minute of every single game. A Southampton player would go down.
That's got to be Pep. That's not the players, and that's not the owners.
No, this is Southampton we're on about doing it.
Oh, you guys have done it as well.
We've been doing it, so we were saying, they're gaining an unfair advantage, the players going down, because the players are getting an energy boost at a strategic time to give them a boost for the end of the game, because you get the energy shots. Yeah,
but can't the opposition run off and do that as well?
Yeah,
when your players down,
so it makes no difference.
It's not like you're trying to get an unfair advantage, because they've got the same opportunity to do what your guys are doing. So that's kind of pointless. At least the City one is an advantage if you go out on the other team and then starting to get cold. I get that that's an advantage, but if you all go off and get a boost, I don't really see what they're whinging about.
Because it's like when the players go off, like when the weather and the ref takes them off, they don't kick off straight away, do they? They get like 10 minutes to
just kick about
again.
On the subject of Man City, I saw on TalkSport the other day, they're talking about, are City entertaining to watch? Do they bring entertaining football?
Yes, at times. I've quite enjoyed watching.
I'm going to ask a different question then. Have Man City made the Premier League more entertaining?
No.
They've killed it for me.
I don't even think they play entertaining football. They play aggressive, kill on with passes.
This is going to taste like salt and vinegar.
Games where I can look at a fixture and go, that's going to be a good game. And unfortunately, the games that I used to think were going to be a good game aren't anymore.
Yeah.
You know, where I thought Man United Arsenal, you know, when it was Vieira Keane, you knew that was going to be a good game. It didn't matter who you supported. You were there and you were going to watch that game no matter what. Chelsea Tottenham was always a cracker of the game years ago when I think Willem Gallas was in the team, and you know, I remember games being like 4-4, proper entertaining. You know, Liverpool Man United games, they used to be great.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
A bit 0-0s.
I'm going to go out on a limb, although as I say, it's going to taste like salt and vinegar coming out of my mouth. But I think at the minute, the most entertaining football is played by Liverpool, Arsenal, and Aston Villa. I think City...
boring. Put it this way.
It's just... pass. And yes, they are very good at keeping possession. And they're very good at passing.
It's boring.
And when they attack, it's good to watch.
But
when they attack. Now, not when they pass over the halfway line, pass another 5 yards, pass another 5 yards. I'm not on about that kind of attacking. I'm on about when they've conceded a corner and then they bolt out of the blocks. Pass, goal. That looks great. And I enjoy watching that. Yeah. I'm not on about the pointless kill me with possession kind of attacking. But like Liverpool do all the time, City do very occasionally. Now, when they do that very occasionally, love watching it. But it's quite rare, isn't it? It's normally...
I watching at the end of last season, Crystal Palace.
They were really good actually. Yeah. Last season. I think they're going to get torn apart.
Well, they've lost key players.
This is my point. More, I think their team's just going to get decimated, and unless they've got somebody like Brighton to pull in them players that are going to just replace them at the drop of a hat. I don't know how the fuck Brighton do that, by the way.
Very good.
They lose Ben White and you think they're going to struggle. And then they lose Trossard, you think they're going to struggle. And then they lose McAllister and you think they're going to struggle. And then all of a sudden you've got Matoma there and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? He's amazing. And then you've got another guy and then you've got, who's a striker? You've got him coming through and all. Just some absolute quality players. And like they just seem to pluck them from nowhere.
But I want to sack Edu and sign
season.
In. At times, Tottenham were entertaining. Not just for
that's it.
The same reason that you found them entertaining, like when they fail and stuff. But sometimes when they were actually playing well and winning.
They won games.
It was entertaining at times.
Must have missed that.
I know we slate them a lot on this show because it's just funny, but they are quite good. You know, when Maddison was on form,
when he wasn't injured,
before his injury, they
played
some nice football.
You know Daryl that's listened to us from day one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he calls Leeds the Championship Spurs. I'm not sure if Tin Ribs is aware of it, but he always refers to them as the Championship Spurs.
There was an interesting thing that I saw about Leeds, and it was because they're sponsored by Red Bull, Leeds went to see Verstappen, obviously because he's the main guy for the Red Bull team. Mm-hmm. You know, since they went to see him, Verstappen's not won a race since.
Wow, that's rough, isn't it?
And the comments are, Leeds have done it again. Falling apart again. And it's like, oh, wow.
I mean, it's harsh, but you can see the point, can't you? It's harsh, but it's true.
I mean, they're surely going to win the league.
I mean, you say that, but how many times did we think that the first time they got relegated?
Yeah, they'll struggle.
Oh, Leeds have got a great chance this year. And then they just struggled to get promoted. Like, after getting deducted 15 points or 12 points or whatever it was, after they'd already been deducted 15 points, which I did think was a bit shitty. But they made such a fight of it that year. You think next year they've definitely going up. And what was it, 14 years or something before they got promoted?
Yeah.
Like before, blink of an eye, mate, and all that time's gone. It's shocking how quick time goes. And like, for me, if Leeds don't go up next season, they're going to be there for years.
Yeah.
I thought that this season, if Southampton didn't go up,
I think you might have struggled. I think you might have struggled. I think Leeds have got another year, unless they keep getting pulled apart. Like Somerville going, not a good sign for Leeds at all.
Liverpool was supposed to get Somerville years back, like loads of interest, and he's just gone. Yeah, I think I'll go West Ham because we just don't sign players apparently.
I mean, I'd pick West Ham over Liverpool as well, to be fair.
Which you would. They're a derby for you as well, West Ham. Not much for derby, like, but they're a derby.
Yeah, but it's hard, and you talk about derbies and stuff, which are great, but Arsenal probably only see that they've got one derby game, official derby game, isn't it?
Tottenham.
Exactly.
Tottenham. Yeah, I've got to be honest. Normally, if I sit down and watch Arsenal Fulham, and the commentator says, "Oh, it's local derby," it reminds me. I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, it is." I forgot about that. Just thought I was playing Fulham.
But it's like next season they'll say that the Bournemouth game's going to be the derby, but it means nothing.
Yeah, you're not really bothered.
We're not bothered about that. There's only one real derby, and that's Portsmouth. which isn't highly rated on the scale of things where they say, but I've known a lot of people are saying that there's a lot of hatred in there. There's a lot of passion that goes into that derby, and they say that it's a really heated derby. When them two are going to play again, which I hope we do, I want another cup game.
Yeah, of
but
course.
I'd love a competitive one as well, because the league difference last time when we played, it was kind of a given. I know that we won 4-0 at theirs, and we sang about it for a bit. Well, ever since. You want to beat them when you're the underdog or in the same league.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we want to go into the Tottenham games where people say, "Oh, I'm not sure who's going to win," and then you go and you beat them 3-0 or 3-1, and you think, "Yeah, I feel good now." It's like when you go into a game and it's like Liverpool are evens and Everton are like 12-1. You're going to look at it and go, "Okay, we beat them," but
it's
not really a competition,
it gets a bit more
is
interesting when you get to Liverpool, though, because they've obviously got the derby game, but then they've got big rivalry. And I know a lot of fans would rather win the rivalry against Man United than the Everton if they were going to lose to one.
Are United your rivals now?
United have been a rival, yeah, of course.
Are they, or are they just a hatred? Because what are they rivaling you for?
I mean...
Because, let's face it, the last couple of years, they've been garbage in the league.
Yeah, but it's history,
Okay, they've won two leagues, 2 cups.
We've established that they've won nearly as much as Liverpool over the last 9 years.
Yeah,
I was just asking a question. He's just stuck the knife in and twisted it.
It's going down next season anyway, it's fine.
Wow, it's going down this season.
No, it's I don't know. Since I've been watching football, since I was like 10, 11 years old, it's always been Everton and United. Like, United, it's just been such a big game. Like,
do you know that rivalry's nothing to do with football?
Is it not?
No, it's all to do with the canal networks. Because everybody was using Liverpool's docks. And I'm going back years.
Yeah.
Years and years and years I'm going back. And everybody used it, and obviously Liverpool made a fortune out of it, until Manchester went, we can sort our own docks out here. Genuinely. And then they built their own docks, and Liverpool were like, what the fuck are you doing? Like half their income just went, and that's what started the rivalry.
Really?
It was nothing to do with football. It was to do with financial and the docks, believe it or not.
That is what annoys Everton and Man City a lot more into the derby game, because they know that the other team actually sees more in the other game.
Do you know what? Even now City are doing what they're doing, I don't think United see Liverpool as more of a rival than City. And I think it's because of how City have got where they are. And as much as we've had some, let's call them snotty comments from City fans on some of our videos where we've mentioned the 115, and they go, 115, it was boring, it's this, it's that, it's the other. And I answer them all the same. If you hadn't have fucking done it, it wouldn't be there for us to talk about. So wind your neck in. If you hadn't have messed up, if you hadn't have broken the rules, or bent the rules, or whatever it is you think you've done, wouldn't be there to talk about. I'm not talking about Liverpool's 115 charges. I'm not talking about Southampton's charges.
Because they're there.
Because you haven't fucking done anything. It's there to talk about because you've not done the right things.
That's it.
And if you're telling me they're now getting done for something else, which is potentially match fixing, they're just doing one thing after another, after another, after another. Nobody's got any respect for them. Yeah. I hated United years ago because they didn't buy the league. It was all the kids that come through and they just happened to be amazing.
Yeah.
And it fucking annoyed me.
Man City went from losing to Middlesbrough 8-0 to...
There was a lot of respect there for them because they'd earned it and they trained their way to winning. Same way Arsenal did.
Yeah.
You know, we got Anelka. He cost us 250 grand. You can hardly say that we bought the FA Cup that season. He was our biggest signing that year. 250 grand. We won the FA Cup. I'm like, okay, great. So people sort of... I mean, Arsenal, one of them teams, you either hate them or you have that little bit of admiration for the way they played football. It seems to be the sort of way Arsenal go. Whereas United, everybody hates them if you don't support them. But you had that little, not so much now, but you had that little bit of respect for them in the 90s and the early noughties because of the way they played football, because of how they played football, because of how they got there.
And fear.
Because nobody wanted to go to Old Trafford. Arsenal were brilliant in the 90s. Every fucking time we're at Old Trafford, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Is that because of the roof?
Just not looking forward to this.
You know that you have a shower when you get there.
Well, I don't know how good Vieira is at backstroke. This could be a struggle.
Well, no, Man City, it's
we're
annoying.
Going to get the shallow end first half.
The thing of Man City, though, like you said, the rise was so quick, and you get teams now who are taken over by big money, like Newcastle, for example, and you can't do it.
Wrexham.
Well,
look at it. Yeah, but look at their rise.
Yeah,
they've got. I mean, if you're as somebody that goes to watch the lower leagues, when you've got a team that come along like that, boom, all of a sudden, that's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, but for Newcastle though, you can't do it anymore because of the financial fair play there, and because they're so tight on it, and then City have these charges. Everyone's like, we can't just go and buy players, even though we're the richest owned club now.
If City get away with some of the charges, like the sponsoring yourself, that could change everything.
Changes everything, yeah.
Because it'll be like, well, we're sponsoring that corner flag for $2 billion, and we'll have that corner flag for $2 billion, and the whole thing is just going to be finished. And City and Newcastle will just walk away with everything every year. Yeah. In which case, I will cry for the Super League. Just send the two of them fucking gone, get rid of them, and then we'll just have the Premier League as it is with.
Think how exciting
Villa,
it would have
Liverpool,
been
and Arsenal being the main
last
three.
6 years. Think how good it would have been if it was like 3-horse race, like when United finished second a couple of years ago, and Arsenal and Liverpool, people actually fighting for it. But now it's like, oh, we've got 15 games left, City are 6 points behind. It's all right, they're going to win the rest of the games anyway. It's boring.
I remember when I met Tin Ribs, right now, going back to 2005, and we had conversations at the beginning of every season. Who do you think's got it? And you sit there and you go, well, they're pretty good. Their attack's good, but their defence is really good. And what did we do this year and last year? Sat down. Who do you think's going to win it? City.
Yeah.
There was no time to think about it. City. What have they won? 7 and 8 or 8 and 9? 7 and 8, isn't it? They've won 7 of the last 8 Premier Leagues, and the commentators and the pundits are still trying to tell me and everybody else in the country that the Premier League's the most attractive league in the world. Bollocks.
Yeah.
We are Scotland. We're Scotland.
There's a lesser version because we don't even have 2 people fighting for it. They have the illusion that there's 2 people fighting for it. There isn't.
Arsenal aren't fighting for the league. They're not fighting for the league.
Yeah.
Fighting for second place.
But look at it this way.
Fighting for second place, and that's what the teams are doing. You guys
literally went hell to leather, and it was going for it. You lose one game, like
Villa.
For Villa, and it's
we lost one game.
And then Man City effortlessly just like, win this game.
We'll go along.
10 years ago, if you'd have done the same thing, it'd have been like, oh my god, Arsenal, the greatest team ever.
Well, we did something worse years ago, and I'm still lauded for it today. Because we drew 11 of them games on our unbeaten season. Yeah. We didn't go from January to May and lose one game. That is incredible. And we still lost because of that one game we lost. Or Raya fluffing the ball into Romero. Which I personally think is the problem. But anyway, my hatred aside, that one loss cost us a league.
Yep.
How can you go virtually unbeaten for 4 months, 4.5 months, and that be the reason that you haven't won the league?
So that makes you feel sick, which is probably exactly how you felt how many points was it that you lost with the league? Was it 99 or something?
Yeah,
didn't you get 99 points?
It doesn't make you feel sick. It just makes you sit there, doesn't it, and think, what's the fucking point?
Well,
there you go. What's the point?
That's what I was saying earlier. Are they, like, for example, for City, right? They're the only team that I put on the telly and I go, right, I'll watch this against any team, apart from Liverpool, because I watch it all the way through, and they'll score in the first 6 minutes. I'm like,
game over.
Okay, boop, change channel, pointless.
Right, what did we do here? Last game of the season, and everyone's like, Arsenal still got a chance last game of the season. I'm like, have you seen who City are playing?
Yeah.
There's no chance there. What was it, 11 minutes, 12 minutes? City scored.
Yeah.
Straight away, all of us, it's over.
Yeah, pointless.
I mean, as soon as City scored, it's over.
Took a couple of years back, last game of the season, Aston Villa went 2-0 up against City. It was Liverpool and City. Aston Villa go 2-0 up. we take the lead against Wolves,
Yeah.
and Salah's like, "Oh my god, we're doing it!" It's like, "Yeah, it's 3-2 City." It's like, what's the point? It's just may as well stop it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And
that year, Liverpool lost one game in the Premier League, and they didn't win it. They come second.
It's insanity.
That same season, they lost 4 games in the Champions League, and they won it.
It's insane, isn't it?
It's mad, isn't it?
That's one of them crazy
I know we sound bitter.
Bonus.
I probably am
bonus
a bit
Jim
bitter.
Jam stat man there.
Yeah, but we all are, though. It's not just Liverpool.
I want it to be fun. I want it to be exciting. I want to watch it and go, who's going to win?
I don't. I'll fucking do it now. Who do you think's going to win the league next year?
Liverpool.
City.
That's it.
It's just pointless. It's boring. And
unless they're going to relegate them.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but that's
then
not
I
going to
bet
be
you it's
sorted
still
for
going to
fucking
be
years.
And then if that ever happens, guess what that Premier League's going to be known as? It's going to be called the Asterisk Premier League.
Yeah, because City weren't in it.
Yeah, they were deducted X amount of points. It's like
then all of titles.
it's like the Asterisk FA Cup where Man United didn't enter until the 5th round.
Although to be fair, we have already got an asterisk Premier League when the COVID was on.
Well, look at all the last 7, like you said, the last 7 of 8 seasons where they've won the league. They're all asterisks.
Every one of them.
Everyone. Oh, I think.
All the Carabao Cups.
Yeah.
All asterisks. All the FA Cups they've won.
And
the Champions League they've won.
Man City will be like, fans will be like, doesn't matter, who still won them, and everyone else will know. It's like, yeah, but
it is only Man City fans that will sit there and go, yeah, but we still had to play the games and we started to win it. I'm like, yeah, but like last season, if Arsenal could just spend whatever they wanted, we spent our limit on Declan Rice.
Yeah.
So we bought Declan Rice and Havertz. That was it. We couldn't physically buy anybody else. Had we then just gone, oh, fuck it, we'll just go out and buy Watkins.
Yeah.
100 million. We'd have got Watkins like that. 100 million. So if we'd have gone and overspent, just got him in, we'd have won the league.
Yeah.
And I believe that wholeheartedly. If we got a full-on striker last season, we'd have won the league.
But this is where you've got to sell. You've got to look at selling like your players like Smith Rowe.
Yeah, we do. City don't.
Yeah,
because they've got
they just keep doing it.
I mean, obviously they have got some because they're selling their youth players for 20 odd million.
It's fucking Saudi Arabia.
Well, look at Palmer. That was a stupid idea,
you've
wasn't it?
Think
Getting rid of Palmer wasn't a good idea.
Well,
Great player.
Well, it doesn't. See, again, it's like playing FIFA, right? And you get to start your career mode. You can have financial takeover, or you can do it properly.
Yeah.
Now they've done financial takeover. So you guys saying now like, oh yeah, shouldn't let Palmer go, but it doesn't matter because they're playing a game, and it literally doesn't matter because they've already got the most money. They can spend whatever they want.
And to be fair, most of them don't even care about football anyway.
It doesn't matter. They buy Vardiol, and then he doesn't play for like first 10 odd games, and he just bring him in. Yeah, maybe we'll throw in this bloody 60, 70 million pound player. Let's do it. Let's buy a 50 million pound right back and just put him on the bench. Let's buy Nathan Ake from Bournemouth and just go. Yeah. It's just.
We already established that Man City ruin English players' careers.
Yeah, it hasn't gone well for Calvin Phillips.
Well, even Calvin Phillips, they bought for what, 50 million, 40 million, and it's like.
I think it was close to 50, wasn't it?
You know what?
Yeah.
You're half decent for Leeds. It was good for Leeds, but it's Leeds.
But the thing is if they'd have just stuck him as a DM, I think he'd have been okay.
Yeah.
But they just.
I guarantee
didn't
that
really
if
play
Calvin
him.
Phillips went to Arsenal instead of Man City, he'd still be at the top of his game, and he would have been playing at the World Cup and the Euros.
I agree with that.
But it just highlights, doesn't
because he would have because he would never have been dropped.
He would have played, and he would have. I think he would have played well.
Because I think he would have been that good.
Because it would have just been, you sit there and you don't move. We need you to be the new Gilberto Silva, which is what Arsenal have been crying out for since 2005.
I think deep down he wanted to go to Man United, which would have been a great move for him, but his family would have been killed. Which was a bit of a downer.
I mean,
because you can't do it.
Some of the rivalry in football is
when
just ridiculous.
Gerrard tried to leave and he'd gone to Chelsea, and obviously
yeah, and they were burning his shirts and threatening his family and. But then look at Alan Smith. He made the move from Leeds to Man United, didn't he? And that didn't end up too well for him. No. Like Sol Campbell, when he went from Tottenham to Arsenal, do you know, he had to spend an extra £500,000 on security for his house.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's insane. Nobody should ever have to do that. I hated Robin van Persie when he left Arsenal, went to Man United.
Yeah.
I never thought of petrol bombing his house.
No.
What is that all about? Some people are just
You just
idiots.
don't want the players to do it, but you want them to have the loyalty. But there's certain players that they don't have loyalty.
No. Sometimes as well.
Players have got loyalty to the same thing you have and the same thing I have.
Family.
Look, I enjoy my job.
The
Don't get me wrong.
podcast.
I like my job as a truck
money.
driver. Right, but if another company come along, double my wage for the same work, I'd go and do it.
Hey, Stretch's boss. No, he wouldn't. He would stay. He would stay. He would not leave. He's
I
loyal.
would leave in a heartbeat for the double pay.
I wouldn't.
Guarantee it.
I would not.
He's a liar.
I wouldn't.
But yeah, so it's just that, isn't it? When you're offered more money, you're going to go. I don't blame him for going. It's like Chibi. I don't blame him for leaving and going United. They doubled his wage.
Sometimes,
At 16, they've doubled his wage to 30 grand a week. Which I think works out about 16 grand a week after tax.
You might never even see him.
Maybe not. Maybe not. He may never make it. He may fail. He may have an injury. He may just decide football's not for it. He's very young.
Every team has some youth players coming through that you think, oh, I wish they played or something like that. Because we look at it now. So Tyler Diblin has looked superb in the pre-season friendlies and stuff like that. But is he going to be playing in the Premier League next season? I don't know yet.
Well,
he looks so good.
We've apparently promoted Nwaneri. So we'll see whether we see him in the Premier League this season.
It happens.
Because
so who's your player?
Has been promoted.
So I'm tipping it now that Southampton's
but they've already done it. They've already done it.
They've got all,
They've got Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, but is there
they're
a new
doing
one?
it.
There's Trey.
Is there a new one?
Yeah, Trey and Nwaneri.
What about your striker? His dad played football as well.
Jaden Dance.
That's one. What about him? Because he seemed
potentially
decent
he's
when he
injured
came
at the
on.
moment. So he hasn't had no pre-season.
So these are players that haven't really played who are going to stand out next season. So you've said
Nwaneri for us.
So ours is Tyler Diblin.
Okay, I'll make a note, and we'll see how many they've played.
We've got Trey, who's 16.
Leeds have got no youth players. There's no point in talking to Sinribs about it anyway.
Well, his one that he was hoping for has been injured till the new year now, apparently.
Oh,
Harry Gray.
Well, look at ours. Look at ours we used to have with Ben Woodburn when he was coming through. Ben Woodburn. He's at Salford now.
We'll have you back on during the season.
We had Jordan Rossiter. Oh my God, Jordan Rossiter. He went to Rangers. I don't know where he is now. I had no idea where he is. Because you do think when they're going through, I think there's some bias there because you think, oh, they're from the youth system and they're from, oh, they look so good. But yeah.
Right, Nwaneri, who's yours?
Tyler Diblin.
Dibling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's Trey and Nwaneri, Anonyi, Nyoni. Noni. Trey. Let me see his second name.
That'll do. His name's Trey. There can't be too many Treys. Right, so I'll title it as Expectant Youth.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a case that I hope that he gets the minutes that he deserves.
Expectant Youth. And we'll see how many play. Well, which one play how many games, and then we'll have you back on a little bit later in the season.
I'll show you 17 now. He was 16. That's Trey Anoni.
Okay, I haven't seen him play. I've seen Dan's play in the Carabao Cup last season. He looked really, really sharp and really good when he come on.
Scored a decent goal.
Scored a couple, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, he's got the chip as well. He's good, but
it's like we saw last season. Connor Bradley come through. Is he going to play much this season, or is he going to spend time on the bench? Is he relying on Trent getting injured? What's his expectation?
But that's the thing, though. You have to have a squad, and even
and when you talk about the most overrated player in the Premier League, he is it.
Conor Bradley, isn't anything wrong?
Not him.
I know you're not Trent.
He's not
the most overrated player in the Premier League.
No, because he's not overrated.
Okay, so in defensive midfield, he was shocking.
It's not
and at right back, he can't defend. He's overrated.
That's just a misconception. If you, I know you can't go off stats. If you went off stats last season, he's a miles better player than Walker, defensively. Next time on or whenever.
Yeah, this was
mistakes.
This was
that where
he
you
did,
might
but
as
this
well
was
have
my
played.
argument with Xhaka because people kept throwing stats at me with Xhaka, and I'm like, I watch Xhaka every week for 90 minutes, and I'm telling you, he's not the player people tell me he is.
I'm telling you now, Trent is.
And I've watched
class.
Not a huge amount of Trent, but I've watched a fair bit, And he's shocking going backwards. Forward, for me, he should be a right winger. When Salah goes, put Trent there, I think he'd be great.
I
just take the defensive responsibilities away from him.
If you play free at the back with Trent as a right wing back,
that would be better.
That
would be better. Yeah,
it'd be a no-brainer because you don't need the defensive cover as much there, and he can do an okay job there.
When he signs his new contract
at Real Madrid,
when he signs his new contract at Liverpool,
I can't believe they won him.
Mate,
take
your blinkers off.
Yeah, because Real Madrid don't do much defending. That's the reason.
Take your blinkers off.
When you see
class.
Trent at the top of his game, there's not many players that can pass a ball the way that he can.
But again, that's not defending. It's his defending I've got the issue with.
How much defending do Liverpool have to do in compared to if he was in a Southampton side?
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
He's going to be forced to do more defending in
There's
Southampton.
levels
I
to what
appreciate
team
that,
they play for. Like if he played for Arsenal, he'd be attacking a hell of a lot more.
So you would have Ben White ahead of Trent?
Me personally, I would for two reasons. One, because I genuinely think he's a better defender. And two, because Trent's not enough of an arsehole for me. Well, Ben White has got that arsehole side, and I like that. I don't want every player in my team doing it.
Yeah.
But because Ben White's got it, and he's got it in droves,
that's fair enough.
I quite like him.
So next
I'm not saying he's
a
better going forward by any stretch of the imagination. I just like the fact that he's a twat.
Yeah.
And he irritates the shit out of everybody.
Next England side that comes out,
White will be in it.
You're expecting White to be
100%.
in there.
Because I think that Southgate and his defensive team are the reason he left.
Yeah.
Something was done or said or something happened that they personally upset Ben White, and I'm 100% convinced of it. And I guarantee he'll be in the next 8 because, for me, Walker's been one of the world's best right backs for the last sort of 7, 8, 9 years. He's been absolutely amazing.
It's time for him to step aside now.
Trent, when he hit the ground, was fucking amazing. Like, because you didn't do any defending when he first started.
Yeah.
But you probably defended twice a game, and that wasn't always down his side. So he didn't really do any defending at all because Liverpool would just attack, and he was absolutely outstanding when he started. So he would never have got in above either of them. But now, I think he'd get in above both of them. One, because Walker's now probably just too old by the time the next tournament comes around, and Trent's got a lot of work to do for me to get back into the England team.
But your opinion is
he's
valid.
got a lot of work to do, but he has got the ability to be well ahead of Ben White because of his attacking ability, because he's far better than Ben White going forward.
Yeah.
And his passing range is a lot better than Ben White's. Much better. But he's got a lot of work to do for me to get back into the England team. But if he does it, then nobody's going to dispute him getting into the team.
I'm potentially playing a back three of
Konsa,
and White. With Trent at right wing back.
Do you want to lose John Stones?
Yeah, I could lose John Stones. I could play John Stones on the bench. I'm not taking him out the side, but
good player John Stones is for me.
He's a good pet player at the moment, but for a Southgate player, he was restricted, wasn't he? So I think a new one coming in, I think he'll.
It depends what.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Lee Carsley. It depends what Lee Carsley's going to do with the team. And if he's anything like Southgate, it's just going to be depressing again, isn't it? Let's be honest.
So then, if you're keeping Stones and Konsa's dropping.
No, because for me, I play a 4. And Gahey and Konsa are the centre-backs and Stones is the DM for me. And then I have Bellingham and Rice as the two more attacking midfielders.
What, Foden?
I'd actually have him on the right.
Oh, you can't put him on the
why
right.
are you putting him on the right? We've just had
Because
this whole debate
Yeah,
that he can't play on the left, so why are you now sticking him on the right?
But he does play on the right, and he's done well on the right.
Okay.
In the games he's played on the right, he's been really good.
So you're dropping Saka?
I'd drop Saka. Yeah.
I'm not against
Number one reason is because Foden does stay on his feet. Saka irritates the shit. I love Saka. We all know. I'm an Arsenal fan. I love Saka. But he needs to stay on his fucking feet. Because that's
But if
irritating.
I was dropping Saka, I'd be trying Palmer out there first.
So Palmer should be in the middle for me.
You can't play in the middle because you've got Rice and Bellingham there. You're wasting the position with Stones.
I think Stones is a good DM.
He's good, but he's not. He's not better than Rice at CDM.
Do you want Rice CDM though? Because look at what he does for Arsenal when he's in the 8 position.
Yeah, but we've got better players.
Yeah, but you've got to. Otherwise, potentially Rice ain't getting in the England side.
Possibly. Then you play Bellingham and Foden as your 2 AMs. Which again, I'd have no problem with that either.
Or you're playing Bellingham and Palmer.
Or Bellingham and Palmer. Or Foden and Palmer. Any combination of them
Foden
three. And
hasn't done it for England.
Any combination. Yeah. Well, he did do when he was put in the number 10 role. He outshone Bellingham when he was in the number 10 role.
Didn't do anything though.
He hit the post.
Wow.
He ran most of that game. And I get what you're saying that Bellingham scored, but he didn't score against Spain. He scored against like Slovakia. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very, very different proposition.
I don't remember Foden scoring against Spain.
I'm not saying he did, but Foden ran the game against Spain for England. He controlled most of that game. He was superb against Spain.
We didn't control any of that game.
No.
Oh, we did in parts.
No.
We did in parts.
I don't agree.
I mean, I'm talking 10 minutes here and then 10 minutes in the second half. But for me, Foden was outstanding against Spain. Bellingham was pretty much not there.
I don't even remember much of the game anymore. I put it so far away from me.
Well, you kind of have to, don't you, most of the time? But just depressing it. We've got to hope for better going forward. That's all we can say is we need to hope for better. Whoever he puts on the fucking pitch and wherever they play, they need to do better than what we have been doing.
That first selection will be interesting. That'll tell me
it's going to be so important because he could instantly be hated just because of a team selection.
I'm looking forward to that episode.
So it's going to be very interesting. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up because we're on nearly 50 minutes. Believe it or not, for the second half.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, 47.
It doesn't even seem longer than the first.
47.15 we're on now.
Yeah.
So.
It seems just the same as the first.
Yeah.
In fact, it felt shorter.
That was 33 first. So it's crazy, isn't it? It does go quite quickly when you get into it. But yeah, again, thank you very much for stepping in this week. I really appreciate it. And hope to have you on again during the season.
Yeah, be good.
And give us your opinion on how Liverpool are doing. Hopefully it's not, first, because that'll upset me. And hopefully you guys are not in the relegation positions, because that would be a bit upsetting as well. I want you to survive.
I want you
to stay up.
Shresh doesn't care. You don't care.
I don't want to see him go down, though. I don't want to see Southampton go down.
We don't hate...
I'd rather see Everton go down.
Nobody hates Arsenal.
I'd love to see Everton go down.
I don't think anybody really hates Southampton. I think that's why
I don't think so.
But loads of people hate Liverpool.
Oh yeah, Liverpool are another one of them teams. You either support them or they're the worst thing in the world.
I know.
It's just the way it is. But yeah, so thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it, and we will have you back on during the season. Jim, good luck for the season. Hope you survive. Don't forget, everybody,
win the league and stop the rot.
You hope we win the league. Fucking hell, I wouldn't put money on it. Don't put your hard-earned money on it. That's all I'm going to say to you. Because we've all voted for City winning the league, and I think that's probably what it's going to be. But yeah, for everyone else, if you are watching on YouTube or watching any of the shorts or even listening on the audio, get yourself on YouTube. Subscribe to us. Get yourself in part of the fantasy football, and you've got a chance of winning a football shirt of your choice next season, unless it's Spurs. So thank you very much for joining us, and we shall see you next week.